Welcome back to the End Zone Report. I'm your host, bringing you the latest and most explosive news from the gridiron, and right now, all eyes, and a lot of worried frowns, are fixed squarely on the New York Giants. The air around MetLife Stadium feels heavy, doesn't it? Like a classic New Jersey fog that just won't lift. For years, the Big Blue faithful have felt the sting of losses, especially when the spotlight shines brightest. We're talking about those coveted primetime slots. Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. These are the stages where legends are forged, where teams announce their arrival. But for the Giants lately, they've become painful reminders of how far this storied franchise has fallen. And in the latest, and frankly, most humiliating chapter of this downward trend, the team has plummeted to a new, truly alarming low in the most recent MMQB NFL Power Poll. Collision, the primetime horror show. Patriots Punch-Out. Now, let's dive into the specifics, because the details here are brutal. The latest humiliation came at the hands of an opponent that historically has their number, the New England Patriots. Listen, going into Week 13, there was a tiny, fragile spark of hope. Quarterback Jackson Dart was back under center after sitting out 2 games in the concussion protocol. Dart is an electric player, a true dual threat with that rookie fire, and there was this fleeting thought that maybe, just maybe, he could spark an upset against one of the hottest teams in the league. Instead, what we got was an old-school street fight where the Giants' opponents were the ones handing out the punishment. The final score, a demoralizing 33-15 defeat, tells only part of the story. It drops New York to a ghastly 2-11 record for the second consecutive year. 2-11, folks. Think about that for a second. It extends their league-worst losing streak to a painful 7 games. 7 straight Sundays where the faithful have had to turn off the TV early. Face with head bandage, the Dart dilemma, and the defense that vanished. The narrative of this season, particularly in this last game, has become centered on Jackson Dart. He's been a lightning rod for both excitement and concern. He is a warrior, no doubt. But he's also been a frequent target of criticism for a lack of self-preservation, for his willingness to take unnecessary hits, the very reason he's been sidelined multiple times this year. Against the Patriots, he was the primary target, absorbing violent shot after violent shot, all while scrambling desperately to keep a dysfunctional offense moving. And here's where the rest of the team comes into the frame, and frankly, it's not a pretty picture. It became clear very quickly that the rest of the Giants roster was simply not prepared to fight back. How about the defense? That once feared Big Blue defensive line, the legacy of legends like Michael Strahan and Lawrence Taylor, was utterly neutralized. They failed to generate any serious pressure against a Patriots offensive line that was, ironically, partially depleted. That lack of urgency was the catalyst for yet another performance where they surrendered an astounding average of $8.1 yards per play through the air. You can't win in the NFL giving up that kind of yardage. It put the offense in a $17-0 hole, digging a trench they simply couldn't climb out of. Tornado, special teams catastrophe. The untouchable unit? Now, let's talk about special teams. This is the one area of the Giants coaching staff that, miraculously, has not been touched by the axe of a mid-season firing. But after this game, you have to wonder for how long. It was a blunder reel from start to finish. They allowed 2 returns of at least 39 yards, including a gut-punching, momentum-killing 94-yard punt return touchdown by Marcus Jones in the first quarter. 94 yards. That's a massive field flip and a score that demoralizes the entire sideline. To cap off the special teams nightmare, kicker Young-Ho Koo missed a field goal attempt that inexplicably ended in a $13 sack. From mental errors to incredible on-field mistakes, the Monday Night Football loss may very well mark the darkest point in the Giants' recent history. And that's saying something for a franchise that has seen its share of dysfunction and constant turnover. Chart decreasing, the power poll plunge. Number 30 in the league. This brings us back to the MMQB power rankings. Connor Orr of SI.com seems to believe this recent collapse is indicative of the Giants' ultimate destiny this season and perhaps even beyond. In his latest poll, he ranked the Giants in their worst spot of the year, number 30. They are currently sitting ahead of only the Tennessee Titans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 30. That's not rebuilding, that's needing a foundational re-pour. Or didn't mince words in his analysis, either. He said, and I quote, The next New York Giants head coach will certainly make an important mention in his introductory press conference about the importance of stopping Jackson Dart from putting his body at risk. It's easy to focus on Dart, who finished with his worst passing line since taking over the offense. But the rookie quarterback is far from the only glaring issue this team needs to confront as they head into their much-needed bye week and the final stretch of the season. The team has to protect their crown jewel. There is a very real, imminent fear that Dart's tendency to play overly aggressive could prematurely end his professional prime, a fate that has tragically befallen other promising, but reckless, quarterbacks before him. The Giants need to protect his long-term health, not just for this season, but for the future. Classical building, a legacy in crisis. From Polo Grounds glory to present-day pain. This entire situation is a disaster from the top down, a mess that may not be salvageable by the current regime, including General Manager JAXSON, whose job is now undeniably on the hot seat. Let's zoom out for a moment and consider the weight of the Giants' name. This isn't just any team. This is a charter NFL franchise, one of the oldest and most successful. They began at the Polo Grounds in New York City, a testament to their deep roots, before eventually moving out to their current home at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, a stadium shared with their local rivals, the Jets. Their trophy case boasts 4 Super Bowl titles, including those 2 epic, improbable upsets in 2007 and 2011, dethroning the seemingly invincible New England Patriots dynasty twice. That's the legacy. That's the bar. But what we're seeing now? The team has been a complete house of cards. Yes, we can credit Schoen for making some moves that have finally netted some progress at positions like quarterback and, to a lesser extent, the offensive line. But the high expectations set in the preseason for other areas, like the once feared defensive line we mentioned, have absolutely evaporated. This unit is now statistically the 30th worst defense in the league, a failure that has directly cost them nearly a half-dozen games this fall. The trust in Schoen's ability to scout quality talent is being questioned week after week. Many of his key draft picks have failed to pan out during his tenure. The Abdul Carter conundrum, a leadership issue? No one personifies the draft struggles more this autumn than third-round pick, linebacker Abdul Carter. In his first $12 games, he has managed a paltry $1.5 sacks. Carter became a major topic of conversation once again after being benched for the first 2 defensive series against the Patriots, a coach's decision, according to offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. This wasn't an isolated incident. Carter also missed a string of games against the Packers after reportedly missing a team practice ahead of the matchup. Now, he's created distractions with 2 separate violations in the span of 3 weeks. The pattern of mistakes and the immediate consequences are leading many, including myself, I have to admit, to question whether there is a deeper leadership or discipline problem festering within that Giants locker room. You look back at Giants history, the legendary grit, the hard-hitting defense, the guys who bled blue. This current team is a far cry from that proud image. It feels less like a professional football team and more like a collection of talented individuals who can't get out of their own way. We'll be here to track every single move, every snap, and every consequence. Don't touch that dial. We've got more breaking news coming up after the break. Thank you for tuning into the End Zone Report. Will the Giants use the bye week to find their fight, or will the losing streak continue? Let us know in the comments. What's the #1 change the Giants need to make this week to save their season? And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our breakdown of their next game. We'll see you then.